Hi everyone, it's another nice week. Market seems to be pretty strong and should have a really good momentum. For the market, Friday looks pretty good. And let's give you a recap of previous week and what I'm thinking going to happen the next week or so. U.S. stock trade mix on Monday. Dow Jones Industrial Average opened with positive but ended with slight decline, 126 points. Policymakers were prepared to start discussion about tapering stimulus effort. Investors were watching on how the U.S. lawmaker will react to international tax deal secured by Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. The Vanguard Energy Index Fund ETF shares, symbol VDAE, whose top 10 in holdings include ExxonMobil, Chevron, and Phillips, have massively outperformed the S&P 500 this year. It surged 49%. Exxon and Chevron outperformed compared to index this year. I think the oil and gas company is still opportunity if they're, unite with vaccination, more, reopening, and people drive more outside. So the demand tend to be higher, and then you can see energy price already gone back up this year from $50 to $70, which is really 40% up already. That's also one of the explaining of the CPI, index are higher but remaining as perfect transactionary. Shares of AMC Entertainment popped as much as 24% Monday, revising 2 days of losses again. Bollinger soars as much as 64% on Monday after USD approved the company treatment. On Tuesday, the S&P 500 ended flat while the market remained resilient and Dow Jones Industrial Average and Nasdaq were positive in morning section. EV stocks continue to be very strong in momentum and continue to go above 50-day average line. The China Passenger Car Association CPCA reported 170% year-over-year surge in electric vehicle sales in May to 185,000 units. BYD saw sales of all electric vehicles doubling during the month to 18,711 units. There was 126% surge over a year ago level. China-based competitor NIO sold 6,711 EV cars. Share BYD and NIO are both recovered above supporting 40-week moving average. After 4-week climbs, along with XPEV, same pain did a great comeback. Chip designer Marvell Technology MRVL led the Nasdaq 100 up 5.6% after reporting strong first quarter performance and rising its record quarter guidance. Wendy surged as much as 26% due to rapid fuel trading mania. E-commerce, retail, and delivery site Dada Nevis DADA spot up 111% after announcing a 150 million share buyback program launched its first quarter earnings. This stock, one of the Chinese stocks that go really a lot of volatility, it's good for short trade, but not for let's say long term. The stock had got really at one point was $60 up, and it's gone down to like $20. Bitcoin was falling for the fourth out of 5 days after former President Donald Trump. We think running for House seat in 2022 is a very interesting idea. One of the Bitcoin's a scam against the dollar. Oil, copper, and lube price drop from recent high also help explain the market strength. China's PPI increased 9% this year, a sharp jump from a 6.8% increase in April, with the rise driven by significant price increase in crude oil, iron, and non-ferrous metal. The 10-year U.S. Treasury yield fell to 1-month low at 1.537%. On Wednesday, the yield on 10-year Treasury note fell to its lowest level in almost 3 months by 2% to 1.49%, suggesting an increase in demand for bonds. Demand is something to deal with the G7 meeting where Biden go over there and try to persuade the European, the G7 spend money and get it over, continue supporting the pandemic effort and hope the economy is strong, and all that said is normally it means they're trying to get these countries to buy the bond. That's why the bond yield gone down probably, because government bonds still continue the most secure securities and church that meant kill. Though this was the case, U.S. stock dipped into close, stumbling away from record highs. Investor away key inflation there. Share long-time Motors slump, so one of the EVs, so this one probably the worst one. Dipping losses from previous recession of the electronic vehicle maker said it doesn't even have enough cash to stop producing its endurance truck. The dollar has been struggling to rise after a 4% drop on the rise edge. However, that bearish pattern was a product of massive falling wedge since March 2020 peak. Bitcoin rebounded to $26,000 level, which actually dipped it pretty bad on the day of 32, close to 32. The consumer price index rose 0.6% last month after edging up 0.9% in April. The update in consumer price in May lifted the year-on-year increase in CPI to 5% from 4.2% in April, the highest rate since 1980. The initial jobless claim number also declined again from previous week. I would say that is true. There are more jobs out there in the market. I wouldn't dispute that, however, it's still very tough to really get a job. There are hundreds of people competing for one position, at least 30 people. I mean, versus last year, there were actually thousands of applicants for one job because some people gave up office during the day that pointless to apply for a job. And now, since the strong number indicating the more payroll positions, so they're trying to really go. So I actually argue that whatever you said in the news is a manipulation, right? So again, you must need to be very careful about painting the true picture, what's going on. The S&P 500 could be just an excuse for, for the state who don't want to pay, employment benefit. My trouble always have been U.S. government promise something and then they take it away. So I don't know. Can you really trust this government? But I don't want to get involved in politics, so that's for you to think about. The S&P 500 climbed to record high Thursday in the winning session for U.S. stock as investors appear to embrace the Federal Reserve signal that hot inflation reading will be temporary and that it will stick with the economic support measure. GameStop lost nearly 30% during the session after video game retailer said it may sell to 5 million shares and that the Securities Exchange Commission has requested information as part of the investigation in the trading of shares. S&P 500 hovered over a record high due to investor optimism. The 10-year Treasury yield went down below 1.5%, indicating that the inflation may be temporary. Cryptocurrency rebound and the BTC climbed back to one-week high, but WTI ended at $70.24 for the week. One item to be noted that VEX has dropped to 15.65, very close to year low again. For this week, Dow Jones Industrial Average ended at 34,479.6, down 277.19 points, negative 0.8%. Nasdaq landed on 14,069.42, up 1.89%, which is back to level April 26. And S&P 500 ended at 4,247.44, up 0.41%. This upstream mostly due to yield curve decrease and G7 agreed on more spending, minimum corporate tax up 15%, and conducive decreasing number of unemployment. Despite Fed may potential tempering on asset bond pressure at the current state, Wall Street remains bullish on silicon and meat. Rising second quarter earning estimation from these economically sensitive core of stock that could keep the bull market trending high. The S&P 500 index is expected to report an earning growth of 57% for the second quarter, exceeding first quarter reported number was 5%. Industrial earning expectation will remain favorable on the sector. Should the momentum continue to move up, the market will also look good following the week. But I'm thinking you may retreat actually a little bit for a more healthy set of a bullish upward movement for the fall month, July, which is then, a lot of quarterly earning coming that helps supporting resilience and idea of the market valuation. I saw some of the stock as they have rebounded around 20 to 25% from May 13. No, if you watch a video, you have following since then, you know what I'm talking about. But the cash, you're quick to buy stock in a dip. Let's say if this week coming back down a little bit, and again, my rule of thumb always 20%. So, but I'm not seeing you would dip 20% that much. So it may be 10%. It's okay to buy this week or following week. And then make sure end of June you got enough to get ready for the ride going up again with earnings announcement coming with the company. Also, when I looked at that on EV stock, SamePin and IO, they tend to do a monthly announcement of sales. So if they consisted a bit the sales, which is end of May, right? They announced it end of June, then July. I mean, they probably will pick it up a little bit. So in between now and July, the stock could actually have gone down a little bit because XPEV is already hitting, well, technically if you look at the technical chart, it's called bullish, very bullish. You pass a 50-day average already and trending probably 20-day average because it's keep going up with the momentum, but you never know. But my next target for XPEV will be $45. If you hit $45 level, then really, really hot and bullish, then you'll get a $50 level. But again, that $50 level, if it were actually hitting there, it maybe actually would be in July, not necessarily this month of June, just bear that in mind. So and then at the same time the stock will, continue volatility, could have dipped back a little bit depending on, how overall market look like, and also the yield curve. So all. And if the following week also, we'll have U.S. retail sale producer price index announcement, earnings from Oracle, H&R Block, Colgate, Adobe, U.S. housing start and building permit number, EIA crude oil inventory number, and Fed reserve rate decision. So all this will be a great driver and indication about the market, how it's going to go, and how good that whether inflation was here to stay or not. So again, I'm still recommending those stocks that I've provided previously, which is on the retail, entertainment, and leisure, and also bowling, which is the future boat because of the price of the market. You can think about Starbucks, but Starbucks will be for long run. Nike have been rebounding a little bit. I mean, in summer people buy shoes, and basketball game we resume. I mean, in the season people buy more there. And also McDonald's seems to be pretty stable on that. And then. And Disney, I still think is good when the theme park reopen and more movies coming on streaming business. So think about all those. And then EV, you have to be careful which one you pick. And I still will only pick and support XPEV and not any other stock. Maybe BYD, because there are rumor that which is simple BYDDF, a rumor that Apple is negotiating with 2 Chinese battery supplier. BYD will be one of them, which actually BYD is, by the way, is also profitable in China. So that stock may have some potential. And again, some other stock, if you see a profit about hitting 25%, you may think through for short-term investors to sell. Hope this is something that's very helpful to you. And also energy sector is kind of high, but may drive up higher. So you're not too late to buy, but I will look for 5% dip before I actually buy into stock. Thank you very much. Have a nice and wonderful week. Hope everybody is continue to make money.